wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
Hello and welcome to Social Sauce.
Hey guys.
And of course we'll call you Ben from here on out.
That is my name?
It is. So Ben is the first NA player, so be kind to him in the comments and go watch his stream of course.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
So what did you bring us, Ben?
So this is the 257 on Stalingrad, and just as all my games in the last year and a half, I have streamed this game. You can see me AFK at the beginning. It's a top tier game with already on each side, which is always gonna suck. But there are no tier 10s. So as you know, Lordy, I had trouble picking out replays here.
A little bit.
But thankfully you worked with me. You know, you won at 1.0, but this replay on 9.22 was too good to pass up. And obviously this map isn't in the game anymore. But this is usually one of the things I would do on Stalingrad from either side, was look towards the middle to try to get some shots for early damage and then see how the game progressed. And if anything went awry or if there was the opportunity to push, I'd work with that. But obviously, you know, if I'm getting free damage in the middle, I want to be capitalizing off of that. And you can see that on the 2-3 line. You know, I have some teammates, but I don't have maybe as much as I'd like to be aggressive. I am a pretty aggressive player, and I'll do that shit all the time.
Very aggressive player.
Especially in the 257, which has like, you know, a pretty retarded armor profile. But here I just have people peeking me in the middle, and I don't have a clear indication of like whether or not it's safe to push. So, you know, sometimes you can farm damage and wind up losing the game because you're not taking the correct positions or something. But I am watching the minimap here. It's just I have the opportunities to get easy damage, and I don't really see my team like pushing crazily down the 2-3 line for me to help. And you can see that like there's actually quite a lot of tanks, not just in the middle, but sort of on the 8-9 line as well that are pushing up. So this is quickly turning into just a shit fest. It's 0-3. I want to help my team. I want to win, but you know it's 1v29 at this point. So I'm just kind of like farming in the middle. And we'll see how that progresses. That's a nice little shot because I moved the mouse the tiniest bit to the right to get that shot in right before it could hit the rubble pile. So that was kind of nice that hit. It could have, you know, hit the rubble pile with RNG.
Is it a precise gun on the 257?
It's more precise than you'd think. I think people don't really give inaccurate guns in World of Tanks the sort of fear or reality that they deserve. Like there's RNG and there are perfect rolls on inaccurate guns. This tank has pretty tight bloom, it feels like, and it's definitely not as inaccurate as you think. I shoot on the move in this tank, like it's okay. So here you see, yeah, here you see me moving from the middle because first of all, I'm not getting as much damage as I was before, but also like you can just clearly see that their team is pushed up. It's 0-5. Like we have lost a third of our team, and they still have every single person alive. So here I'm coming out to help. I don't know why my replay doesn't have the HP, but you can see I'm going to try and focus out targets because at this point I just need to kill tanks. Like I do damage in my tanks usually, but this needs to happen. So I'm just going to over peek this 705 to get the shot on the Conqueror, who has the baby gun for some reason. Yeah, this tank has a really stupid profile that really the side armor only gets defeated by large caliber guns. So here I fire a shot which really could have sucked because somebody kills the dude that I wind up shooting, and I'm getting YOLO'd by a T-54A1 who in theory doesn't have like a lot of pen, but my team comes through. So here I'm taking quick shots and using this tank's dumb armor, which, you know, doesn't really stop HE rounds, and it sucks that this T-49 keeps shooting me. But I see this E50 coming in for the shot. He pens me, which kind of sucks because I am side on, which is in theory is like my best armor, but you know I need to make that trade. So here I am reverse angling again, picking up kills. We've quickly made it 8-9, so it's totally doable. 8-10. It's kind of hard to cover everything that's going through my head. Like, this guy's isolated. We just killed like all of his team. It's obvious I need to help my Type 4 get this guy out. But I'm gonna have to return towards the base area and do some crazy shit here to win this game. Because now it's not 8 to 10 anymore. It's 8 to 12. Like, this is quickly getting out of hand. I did my best in the middle to sort of punish them and do some damage, but the team just folded. That's what happens.
The reason the XP is missing, Ben, is because it's older replay. That's one of the things that
you can
can't
see the
go
aiming
lost.
circle is different as well. Like, that's not my aiming circle, but
No.
you can see I have 2 more teammates and it's 3v5. This Wheezy I think was a one-shot. You know, there's some medium tanks that are autoloaders. This 257, I'm gonna shoot, but he's not the priority. Like, I'm gonna shoot him to try to help out my Type 4. I don't really have other shots. I guess I could have tried to go for the Skoda here, but I'm gonna watch to see the Wheezy, and you can see he does come in for the shot. So I'm gonna quickly power traverse my turret to get that shot. And now I have to get away from these mediums. You can see the Leo Proto's a one-shot. The Skoda is not a one-shot, even though he has a lot of potential. It's a very scary tank. I'm gonna go for the 257, try to help out my Type 4. And I'm very aware of these mediums, but there's not much I can do. And this is where things get really hairy. This guy is gonna kill my Type 4, and now I have 2 one-shots, the Leo Proto and the 257, and the Skoda is a 2-shot. So I go for the kill on the 257. I low roll for 376, so that's fucked. I know I can just keep side scraping. The Leo Proto is probably not gonna pen. I go for the kill because he's over peeking it. I gotta keep side scraping, which you've seen me do this whole game and illustrate how stupid the armor profile is. Now here I can really die. Like, this guy has the chance to just clip me out. The RD is driven up and tracked me for him. I'm trying to wiggle my armor as best as I can. This guy doesn't know what to do. See, now right here, if I'm a less experienced player, I could snap that. I could try to force that, but I see that like it doesn't work. So I just do my best to get the shot again as quickly as I can. I kill him, I try to get away from the RD. I know the Skoda has just unloaded on me, so I have to push him. He's a one-shot. It's gonna turn into a ring around the Rosie, which is just gonna be really hell, but I need to try to like force him to bait.
Oh, that's the RD.
Yeah, here's the RD. I go for the track because I'm not concerned about penning him. Like, there's a chance I don't like kill him on an average roll. I need to track him.
He just missed it totally.
Yeah, and this Skoda comes in for the shot, and that's the end of the game right there. I knew the 212 fired, and this is again where a less experienced player might fuck up. I'm not even gonna give this guy a chance. I'm gonna shoot him in the track. I knew I already tracked him. That's why he forced his round, is because I tracked him. Yeah. If I went for the shot on him earlier, yeah, maybe I high roll him, but by tracking him, I give myself the chance to pen, and as well like the chance that, you know, he can't come fuck with me anymore. And he tries to ram me, you know, God bless him, but he's already, so also go fuck himself. And it's just really kind of hard to, you know, I've been talking nonstop and I still didn't like sort of explain everything that's going through my mind and everything that went through this game. Like this,
you'll get the chance the next time.
This is like years of experience and also just a retarded tank and some enemies that don't really, you know, I'm not gonna call them terrible, but you know, they're obviously not
have
the best
work
players.
to do. Work to do.
Yeah.
And the result, Benjamin?
7,238 damage with 8 kills, 5,340 blocked, which is like very important and like crucial to how this game was won, you know, and came to be. 25 shots fired, 22 hits, so there were some misses, but 20 pens. So, you know, asking about the gun, I think that sort of illustrates that it's not as inaccurate as people might think.
Nope.
What was the base XP? It was 1757. There's 10 medals here. Just rain in medals. A loss of 63,000 credits, but that's what you got to do in World of Tanks to win games. Yeah, the side scrape thing, I think I started to talk about it, is it's 45 millimeters, so TDs with like 150 above are going to overmatch that, but and there's obviously like the turret, which isn't the strongest, and the space above the tracks, but in general that tank is just retarded at being sideways and people trying to pen it, as well as the fact that the rear is a V shape and yet is not visually illustrated that way. So if you shoot, like the 257 actually had probably 2 rounds, you definitely could see at least 1 round. If you shoot the ass and it's a rectangle, There's probably about a third of that that's not actual armor that you're gonna pen. It's fake. It's false. Like you can go into Tank CG and you can look at it,
Yeah,
because the V shape is there and they just add the other shit to like trick you. Um,
they
so
trick you, Ben.
that sort of explains like the reverse side scraping, and the traverse isn't bad at all. So like you're gonna side scrape in those situations to give yourself the chance to bounce rounds, and if you get pushed or something like that, you manage it. I don't. So here we have a 430U replay, not on my account, which is important. Still, this guy has like a high win rate, so he does get kind of like XVM focus, which is annoying. But I had like a 10K game in the 183. I had a 10K game in the I think it was like maybe it wasn't the Foch. It was something. Oh, it was the 268 before. And I had some pretty good carries in the T44, but I don't think people would really like to see tier 8 games, and they maybe wouldn't understand some of the more nuanced things that are going on there. At least
Yeah.
here, I think people are going to recognize this tank. They like tier 10s. And this isn't a farm game. It's more of a carry game, and that's why I picked it. Yeah. So here again is the 430U, basically the most overpowered tier 10 medium, and not most, but one of the most overpowered tier 10s currently in the game. It's 3 RD on Paris, which it doesn't matter if it's a city map. They'll find ways to shoot you. It's always gonna suck. But it's 357, which is nice. Obviously, I think this is a shit map. I think you'd have trouble finding some good player that wouldn't say that. Yeah, but since I do have the speed, the pen, the DPM, well, armor, I can go down here. And you'll see me set up for this shot. I snap it because there's TDs that typically sit there, and I don't want to sit there aiming it forever, but I can get off a second shot, so I do. I think I even track him. Yeah, fucking saucy shot. So I'm going to go down here, and I think this is the only way to play Paris. If you have a tank that's capable of it, you should try to go down here from either side. But the problem is you need teammates, and you can see I only have 3 teammates behind me, so I don't want to do this. But what else am I going to do? Am I going to go up towards the top and just waste my time? Like, this is the only thing I can do, and if it goes bad, it goes bad. I'll try to minimize the shit that gets flung at me, but I don't have many other options. And that just sucks.
There's a lot of love going on in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, and then here's I usually play with chat off. Here's an Oho, which is going to do damage to me every time. I go for the Panther. I even shoot it as track. It pens him for no track, not a big deal. Yeah. But the Oho is going to do damage with HE every time, so that's pushing me back. I have my teammates, but they're not committed down. And what I do want to say before I forget is you can come down here in a tank like that's not the 430U. You can wait around in the back and see if your teammates decide to push and then support them. But obviously I'm the tier 10 here, very overpowered tank, came here on my own. This T30 is a huge risk to me. I'd say second, or I'd say the Oho is only second to the T30. I don't give a fuck about the 705. The T30 can do shit tons of damage to me.
Yep.
And I don't want to side scrape like this, but what am I gonna do? He goes to peek it, but he's very scared. I mean, I am playing aggressively, but this guy is just a bot, and he may have come out to peek me and tried to get off a shot there and just done one shot and died, which would have sucked. But thank God my teammate kills him right there, sneaks in a shot, so that's really cool.
And lucky he scared off instead of shooting you.
Yeah, you can see just how nimble this tank is, like turning. It's not very fast in a straight line, but the armor, the turrets, the turret's better than most heavy tanks. It's retarded.
And 340 heat pen, of course.
Yeah, and this Oho does damage to me, which sucks, but the 705's caught down with my other tanks, and I can kill the Oho with the reload, I know. As long as I don't bounce, you just take your time, you shoot the lower plate. But yeah, this tank's just retarded good. So here I peek the 705, I shoot him, I get back into cover. There's no reason, obviously, to just lose HP for no reason. He's right there. Not much to commentate on right now. These two replays. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's already shot that he did. That was all.
Yeah, these 2 replays I felt like the rap god, but there is a lot of information and decisions to be explaining. So now this is really weird. Get ready for this. I come around here to aim at the charioteer. I noticed my minimap. Plus, I just got fucking shot at.
Two
what the fuck are these guys doing here? Who knows, dude? I do 440. You know, I could have high rolled by 10, but I didn't. I'm checking to make sure none of those guys are looking at me. Honestly, this is a damage whore moment. Like this, I didn't check to see which already shot me. I just go for the damage, and I know I got my teammates there. I fucking high roll the shit out of that guy for 490, and this could really fuck me. Obviously, I aimed my shot fully. It should pen. But you know, if some bullshit had happened, that could have really fucked me. So it's 8 to 9.
Very aggressive arty position though.
Yeah, just who's gonna fucking expect that?
I
So
wouldn't. I never
yeah.
saw that before.
So obviously it's 8 to 9. My 183 somehow is a team kill. 9 to 9 now. It sucks that that Roomba snuck in that shot. We know now that he's towards the middle, so I'm just gonna go aggressive towards him because, excuse me, I have the armor. I am a very good player. I have the better tank. I know that I should be able to win this fight, or at least, you know, get him killed in some way. And I really need to be helping my team. Like, they're losing the north. You can see it was tied, but now it's 9 to 10. Sucks that that one shot didn't go in, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to it, but it
And here's the
didn't go in.
shitty part. Like, we're gonna get lit by this 430, but we're gonna shoot him anyway because he's a one-shot kill, and we have the armor to bounce the Roomba. Of course, his gun is pretty
Nice.
good. He could shoot our lower plate. We do angle side to side to give ourselves some more armor to bait him, and he does bounce. So, all in all, very nice. And here we see the God Charioteer get out-got it because he just got fucking owned.
Yeah, he
That was
penned you.
It was an aimed shot from me, you know, like well aimed with my hand, but obviously like it could have missed. So it was nice that like that hit. And now it's 12 to 11, but you can still see how hairy this is. If you, I think I should do it myself. If I start looking around, you'll see just how little HP our team collectively has compared to their team. I'd say when enemy teams have a ton of HP with lower numbers, yeah, I'd say it doesn't favor them that much. I don't know. I think it's a crapshoot 50-50. Like, I don't think puppies. You can see this guy with the team kill has 24 HP. That guy has 100. I don't think puppies really understand.
And he's still
you know,
mad
how to
then. The team
Yeah.
killer is still mad.
Yeah, I
keeps
had
on
chat
writing.
off. I didn't see what
No.
happened. I just knew he had a team kill. So I don't think puppies usually know how to utilize their low HP tanks or to utilize their HP. So it's really a crapshoot. But in these kind of scenarios, you can see I'm just waiting. Like there's nothing else I can do. I shoot that car there because if this Sturv appears, I can overmatch his armor with AP. But say it's the 263, I'm gonna want to shoot heat. So that's why I shot the car out.
Yeah.
And this 263 is going aggressive. Now, I watched this replay before I sent it to you,
Did you go
and
for
I
the
remember
track shot?
thinking,
Did you go for the track shot on him?
see, I did like a tiny little flick, but it was a terrible attempt at a track shot. And I remember thinking, that track shot really could have ended the game sooner, or, you know, I really should just, you know, knowing, you know, what I'm capable of, like, you know, having a clear head, I really should have aimed the track shot there. Like, that's a mistake from me. Here I go for the track shot on the Sturv, and I get
That
it,
one
which
goes,
is nice. I'm using third person to manage my risks here. I see that the Sturv has repaired his track, but he's not aiming at me. That could have tracked him, but it just didn't, so whatever.
And 263 ignores you.
Yeah, so I'm using third person again to manage the risks here, and I kind of rushed that shot, but this dude's coming around the fucking corner. Like I have to fucking go.
It's impressive how he's totally ignoring you, I must say. I know he's looking at another, but still.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before, but this account does have, like, my account's 63.5% win rate overall. This account's 57, but like 57 is pretty fucking high compared to the average. So it does get kind of focused when I've played it. So yeah, there's not much to talk about now. It's 3 people versus an Artie. I guess, you know, in theory he could shoot us and kill us one by one since it's low HP versus Artie, but that's probably not going to happen.
No.
And I think he's probably in the field, given how his teammates, his Artie teammates were set up before. Since he wasn't there with them, I think he must probably be over here. You know, he could have gone south, maybe.
Not the fastest Artie either, so.
Yeah, but watch this. This is like pretty gross. Look at this shit. I fucking like absolutely
Nice
stole that.
dispersion.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aimed in all the way. I fucking shot because I just wanted to steal it from that dude. It hit, easy kill. You know, what's there to say? Just out gamed Mr. T34.
Let's go to the result, Ben.
Yeah, so that game was 10 kills with 8,721 damage. The base XP was 1491, so actually I think that's lower than the 257 game.
Yeah, it was.
28 shots fired, 25 hits, 24 pens, so that's pretty standard with like a nice carry game like that, you know, making your shots count.
22
Only
bonds
900.
though.
What?
22 bonds though. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, bonds. Okay, I thought you said bounce, my bad.
No bonds.
Yeah, but I was thinking about bounce damage. We only bounced 930 damage. Now, I mean, the lower plate on that tank isn't like fucking invincible or anything, but the turret is nigh invincible. And it's just such a fucking solid tank in a tier 10 match like that. It's surprising we only bounced 930, but we did kind of like eliminate threats pretty quickly one by one and then move on to help our team. So it's not that surprising, but only a loss of 8,000 credits, which is pretty nice.
That brings us to the next question that everybody gets, Ben. What's your advice to be a better player?
I think it's pretty clear that the best advice would just be to be open and willing to learn, you know, like be open to the fact that maybe you're not the best player, be open to the fact that there's probably better players than you, look at them, you know, whether it be guides, Twitch streams, YouTube videos, you know, look to see how you can improve, because if you're not looking to improve, you just, I mean, I guess in theory it's possible to improve, but your progress would definitely be outmatched by somebody that's actively trying to improve. So
definitely, that was good advice, Ben. Thanks a lot for coming.
Yeah, no problem, Lordy.
English one, the Russian one, but man pulled up in the German one. 2 4 4s in a 4-door truck. There's one on the right, on the left. There's one. We don't wait for the